Good day, James. How are you?
I'm doing fine today, John. What brings you here?
It's this joint decision with the British regarding our foreign policy. I believe that the British may have their own agenda.
What makes you say that?
Look at our history. The Revolution, the War of 1812. Washington even addressed it in his farewell address. I believe that the British always have our hands tied.
John, I appreciate your concerns. However, I believe the British are on our side. Look at, there are rumors floating around saying that European powers, such as the Spanish, they're trying to retake their Latin American colonies. And this in turn is going to affect trade with the British. So why in the world would the British oppose something like this?
They might not at the moment, but you don't know. They could, if the Spanish decide to retake their colonies, then what's to stop the British from retaking theirs? I believe that a unilateral, independent decision would send a far greater message to European countries rather than a joint decision with Minister Canning and his British cronies.
You know what, John? You have a fair point. I changed my mind on that agenda. I believe that a joint decision between us and the British is definitely not the way to go for us American people.
Sounds good. I actually mapped this out earlier if you want to take a look at it.
So you're telling me if the European powers attempt to colonize the Western Hemisphere, it's going to be seen as an act of aggression?
That's correct. It's going to be seen as an act of aggression. We lay out all the rules for them, and if they don't like it, well then go on with their heads it is.
I'll have to think about that, but I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, John.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hello, I'm William S. Stickler, reporting here for the New York Times, with President Roosevelt next to me. Mr. Roosevelt, how are we doing today on this fine evening?
William, I am doing just great. I am an American living in America, and like any other day for any other American, today is a great day.
That's very nice to hear. But may I ask, do you always carry around that big stick?
Indeed I do.
How come?
This represents my big stick policy. This policy was derived from the Monroe Doctrine, which was written almost 100 years ago, or actually over 100 years ago. I apologize.
Oh, very nice. And may you please elaborate on what this doctrine how has it affected your foreign policy and such?
The policy, it basically ensures that American excellence is seen in all neck of the woods, and it stabilizes areas of unrest. This is mainly in Latin America for us. Cuban and Nicaraguan revolutionaries, they've gotten their freedom because of this policy. We've been able to help them out in getting their freedom. And my main goal is to bring peace and stop the unrest in Latin America, and I feel like because of this policy, that's what we've been able to do.
Thank you, Roosevelt, for your time.
You're very welcome, William. Thank you. Whoa! Mr. President, you're pacing. What seems to be the matter?
Cuba. That's what. Those pesky Soviets from the other side of the world, they believe they just come over to this hemisphere and, build some bases and build some missiles to destroy us. No, they can't.
Oh, that's horrible. Do you have any plan on what to do?
I have a trick up my sleeve that could possibly work.
What's that?
Evelyn, I present to you, over 100 years ago, they created this doctrine.
And what is that doctrine?
The Monroe Doctrine. Essentially, in here, it tells us, oh, there's Cubans, or well, not those Cubans, there's Soviets, the ones on the other hemisphere of the world, they cannot come over and invade this hemisphere of the world. Because, it's our territory,
yeah,
our side.
Absolutely, yes.
They shouldn't touch us. So, hopefully, this should get rid of them.
That sounds great, Mr. President. Is there anything that I can do as your secretary?
Give me a phone with Khrushchev, please.
Khrushchev? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. What a nice day we're having here. Ooh. Well,
Monroe!
John,
I'm sorry.
who the damn hell do you think you are?
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, Mr. President. This is a doctrine, though. It's finished. You can take a look at it.
Fine. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
I like it.
Thank you.
Using this, I'll make sure no European power ever conquers our side of the world again.
Sounds great. Do you have any ideas for a name for it, potentially?
Name it after me.
The Monroe Doctrine. That does have a nice ring to it. I think that sounds very good.
Send this over to Europe ASAP.
Yes, sir.
Go. Today we have here Monroe. Who in the Monroe. Who in the
Wonderful, and then say this.
Just,
and then,
like other than us, they have no right to build.
it's beautiful.
I love
Say
you.
something like.